Now, what is some numbers, like people watching and listening, how can they contact you all for help or consultation or just anything of that nature?
Any of the CompCare phone numbers will get you treatment. It don't matter which county you call. If you call Rockcastle County and say I've got problems, or Whitley County or whatever, you're not going to have any problem connecting with treatment from any excuse me, from any CompCare office. If you contact most of the social service agencies, they're going to be able to funnel you to us. We've got a pretty good relationship with most of the hospitals, several of the doctors. And like I said, we've been around since about 1968, so we're not new to this operation. You know, we've had people in this area, so we have a lot of people that know us on a first name basis, and they'll call us.
So you can call any major, you know,
any CompCare. You should be able to find the CompCare. Like I say, if you call the Crossroads program and you say, look, I want outpatient treatment, they will help you get the outpatient treatment even though they're not an outpatient program.
Right.
One of the philosophies that we're really proud of is a new program we're working with called No Silos.
Right.
And the other one is No Wrong Door, which means that anywhere you come in at to our program, we'll get you to the right place.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of times what happens is when you are working with some program, they come in and they say, well, you're at the wrong, you're at the wrong door because you come here for substance abuse and we treat mental illness.
Right.
Or we work with children. With us, what we do is no matter where you come in at, we can start you there.
Now, Mr. Bill, you've been with the organization for a while now. How long have you been with them?
Well, I joke I'm an overnight success. It only took me 30 years to get out of Manchester.
Oh.
So I started working at Comprehensive Care and Hazard in 1976.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And through the years, you've helped a lot of people and seen a lot of different, things. And it continuously gets worse. I mean, it just seems like everywhere you look, there's somebody getting in drugs or going to jail for drugs or drinking and driving. We're living in a bad time.
There's a lot of people that are trying to escape the pressures. Obviously, the reason that people use drugs, the bottom line is my predecessor used to say, was to escape reality.
Right.
Reality is painful for them. It may be a bad job, a bad marriage, a bad living situation, and to escape that, they begin to use substances for whatever reason. But then at some point, the substance abuse becomes an addiction issue, which then everything else is secondary to getting that drug.
Right. What if you know somebody that desperately needs these services and will not go for themselves, and how can you help that person?
Unfortunately, you can't make anyone get substance abuse treatment. Now, the courts again have some ways of coercing folks, which are they have a few more tools than the average person. Let's say that you have a friend that needs treatment. You can't physically grab him and say, look, I'm taking you to Crossroads and setting you out, or I'm taking you to CompCare and setting you out. Like I say, a lot of times what happens is these people have gotten in the system so deep that the only thing left is the court looks at them and says, you've got X number of days in jail or you've got X number of days in treatment.
Right.
And even then, you'll have a lot of people go, well, I'll just go to jail. Because again, the part is being scared, because again, making changes is scary. Anytime any of us make changes, losing weight or anything like that, that's a big deal.
Exactly.
And anytime you make a major change, you're giving up, in substance abuse, you're giving up a life that you think you understand or think you know. And sometimes you do. Sometimes,
Well, like I said before, I've got family and friends that are in desperate shape, and they'll even admit they've got a problem, but it takes that step to say, how am I going to fix this? They've got to make the decision.
You've got to find somebody. Unfortunately, they have to hurt to the point that they say, I've got to do something better.
Right.
That's where we get a lot of our people come in. They'll come in and say to us, look, if I don't get some help, Mom's throwing me out of the house. My boss says if I don't straighten up, I'm losing my job. Something that says, there's something happening in my life I can't control. if I don't stop the drinking or the substance. And again, I tend to talk a lot about drinking as opposed to drugs because but they're pretty much interchangeable. You know, there'll be people they'll say, you know, well, he's talking about drinking, but I'm not drinking anything, but I'm taking a lot of Xanax. The bottom line is a drug is a drug is a drug.
Exactly.
Alcohol, the process with alcohol is not a whole lot different than the process with Xanax or opioids or pain pills or prescription medication.
Right.
If you are addicted to a drug, you're addicted to a drug.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, and so a lot of people will use that as a defense mechanism too. They'll say, I'm not going to AA. It says Alcoholics Anonymous.
Right.
But on the other hand, the philosophy of the AA is that they're powerless over this drug. And, you know, you just fill in the blank there. That drug could be alcohol. That drug could be prescription medication.
Right.